Hello guys, and welcome back to another educational video. And today I want to talk about cravings and how to control them, because so many of us get really bad cravings, especially as females around our cycle. It tends to be a little bit worse. So has any of you ever had that moment where you're like, out of nowhere, you're like, oh my God, I need chocolate, I need crisps, I need it all. And then you're like, oh my God, I have no self-control. But what if I told you that actually cravings are not random? Most of the time, your body and your brain are trying to tell you something. And if you are craving chocolate, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're lacking magnesium, because this is one of the biggest myths that I see on social media. And I feel like it's just people using excuses to eat chocolate. Oh, I'm magnesium deficient. More often than not, cravings are a part of your biology, your environment, your habits, and your emotions all working together. And once you understand why you have these cravings, you can actually stop fighting them and start controlling them that little bit better. So by the end of this video, you'll understand why you get certain cravings. Now, just a disclaimer, this doesn't mean that you're never going to get cravings again, because we do get random things. Like if you're craving a McDonald's, it doesn't mean you're deficient in something, okay? But most of the time, there is a reason behind it. Now, first of all, let's clear things up. Cravings are not the same as hunger. Hunger is your body needing energy. And most of the time, you'll feel it coming on gradually. Your stomach will start to rumble and your energy will start to dip. And when you're hungry, you would eat anything. My dad always used to say to me when I was a kid, he used to be like, if you're really that hungry, you will eat anything, no matter if you like it or not. But a craving is usually different, okay? A craving is sudden, it's specific. You want that pizza, that chocolate, those cookies. And that's because cravings happen inside the body just as much as they happen inside the brain. One of the biggest reasons I see women having cravings is because they over-restrict themselves. And most of the time when people start a diet, they create a list of foods they cannot eat. So instantly you're restricting yourself. And as humans, we are a bit backwards. As soon as somebody says, you can't have this, or you shouldn't do this, you want to do it. It's just who we are as humans. So the list of foods that you're probably creating when you start dieting is no chocolate, no bread, no pasta, no desserts, no takeaways, all the bad foods as such. And it might feel motivating at first, but something really interesting happens psychologically. And that is, the more you tell yourself you can't have it, your brain focuses on it more. So when you label foods as bad and off limits, they become instantly more desirable. And then eventually, obviously, you give in because you can't stop thinking about it, and then you feel like you failed, and then you're feeling sorry for yourself and saying, I can't diet ever again because it's just not for me, it just doesn't work, is the one that I hear all the time. And that's not the reason. The reason is because you are restricting. And restriction is one of the main reasons people end up binging, okay? So with my clients, they are able to eat normal things, unless obviously they have intolerances. Then if you're a normal person that can eat anything, you will have Biscoff cheesecake on your plan, you will have chocolate, you will have those crisps, you will have it all if you don't have any diet restrictions or allergies as such. Because it's more about consistency rather than cutting out the foods that you actually love. So the second reason is you are not eating enough. And it might sound very, very obvious to some of you, but to the others, it might not. So if you've starved yourself and you've had a coffee, a chicken breast with some lettuce leaves, a protein bar, maybe a yogurt, your body isn't going to be like, oh, you know what? I really crave a chicken breast. Obviously not. It's going to want quick energy. It's going to scream for sugar because it's fast acting, and that's what's going to give it the most energy. And why? And that's because your brain and your body are wanting to keep you alive, so they want energy fast. And this is why most people binge at night. It's not because they don't have the willpower at night and they do during the day. It's because the body just crashes when it comes to nighttime. And that leads me on to my next point, which is blood sugar crashes. So another big reason is unstable blood sugars throughout the day. So if your breakfast looks something like cereal with some milk, or toast with some jam or Nutella or Biscoff, your body blood sugar shoots up, it spikes your insulin, and then your blood sugars drop really quickly. And what happens? A couple of hours later, you're hungry again, you're tired, so you go, oh, I'm going to reach for that chocolate bar to give me that little bit more energy. And then what happens? You guessed it right. That cycle repeats all day. And when you're hungry, you're tired, and your blood sugars are low, you're going to be craving more food, and you'll get more brain fog, your concentration disappears, As opposed to if you were to have a balanced breakfast with protein, fats and carbs, you wouldn't feel this way. So eggs, turkey bacon, some heck sausages in there. You can have a slice of bread and toast when you're dieting for sure. Have some avocado in there as well. Or having a Greek yogurt with some protein in there, some berries, nuts, nut butter, dark chocolate. Again, much better options that are going to keep your blood sugar stable throughout the day. And pairing carbs with fats will mean that you're not going to get this insulin spike, but it'll be stable throughout the day. Now, moving on to the next point, have you ever noticed that when you are stressed, you want to eat more and more junk food? Because I definitely have. You all of a sudden want to eat that whole bag of Maltesers. You really want to go get a kebab from the kebab shop or any sort of takeaway. And it's no coincidence, okay? Because when you're stressed, your body releases cortisol, which is a stress hormone. And in a lot of people, cortisol increases the desire in people of wanting more fatty and sugary processed food. And why is that, Dom? Why is that happening to me? Please tell me. And that's because that food activates the brain's reward system. And what that means is they give you a quick hit of dopamine, like instantly. So yeah, it's a temporary comfort, but the problem is that soon wears off and then you feel guilty, bloated, horrible, and you feel like you've messed up your whole diet. And this is something that I cover with my clients quite a lot, and it's emotional eating. Emotional eating isn't about the food. It's about the emotions that you need to take control of and process rather than looking at the food. It's the emotion. It goes a little bit deeper because the food is simply just a coping strategy. Now, let's look at other types of hunger and cravings because they have nothing to do with the environment whatsoever. Now, think about your own routine, and this one I can guarantee 90% people do, and I am the same, and I have been this way for a long time, and I can recognize it. So imagine it's nighttime, you're sitting on your sofa, you're about to put on Netflix, it's 8, 9 o'clock, and you're like, oh, I need a snack. I can't sit here without a snack. So you go and reach for that snack, and what your brain does is connect the Netflix that you're watching, the sofa that you sat on, and snacks. So every time that you sit on that sofa at night time with Netflix on, boom, your brain's like, oh, I need snacks. Or maybe even at work, every Friday is let's go out for lunch and let's get a takeaway every Friday night. I know people who do this. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's like every time you have a coffee, you have a biscuit, right? It's just a habit. And it's not because your body craves it. It's just because your body expects it. But the good news is you can break a bad habit. So once you become aware of those triggers, you can definitely change the habit. I'm not saying you have to stop. If you enjoy sitting there having some snacks on the sofa, which I do, I have a cup of tea every night with my date and my dark chocolate, but I count it into my calories and I don't binge. If you can do that, no problem. If you find that you binge, you need to break the cycle. You need to change up your routine. So now I'm going to tell you how to fix it, because as much as we're all going to have cravings at some point, it's really good to know how to manage them, okay? The first thing is stop banning foods and labeling them as bad, okay? If you are not restricting yourself, you will not crave it as much. So stop telling yourself you can't have something. Second thing is include food that you genuinely enjoy. A diet doesn't mean you have to cut out nice foods. You can enjoy them just in moderation. The third thing is build balanced meals, so proteins, carbs, and fat for every single meal. Eat consistently. Don't skip meals. Don't bank 1,000 calories unless you're going out for meals, drinks, whatever. Don't do that every day. Once a week is okay, not every day. And when you see these cravings appear, ask yourself questions. Am I actually hungry? Do I feel stressed? Am I sad? Do I need to break a habit? Do I need to take myself out on a walk? That's what I always say. Try and break the habit. Try and break the thought process. Go have a drink of water. Go have some sugar-free juice that you want. Try and have something else instead. And the goal isn't to eliminate foods forever. It's to stop letting food control you. You are the human. You are the one in power, you are in control. Stop letting food control you. So just something to take away. Cravings are not a character flaw. They are not a bad thing. They don't mean you have no discipline or motivation or anything like that. They are just part and parcel of life and the habits that we build over time. You don't need to restrict yourself anymore. You just need a better self, basically. You just need some support and how to manage all these things, okay? So if you don't know who I am, please go check my Instagram out at Dom Blonska, or my coaching page, herhealthcoaching.co, and you can find all the information there that you need. I've got a lot of free resources and guides, etc. And I've also got a free community in my Regulate program. So if you comment Regulate below, I can add you into that free community, because it's always nice to have women around you who get it. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and I'll see you next week.